Shay. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be something a little different. It's going to be about the time I had brain surgery. How I found out something was actually going on up in there was I used to work at a casino. And sorry about my voice, I'm a little sick right now. I used to work at a casino where all we mainly had to do was count chips and focus on everybody's playing cards. I was very new, so I was still training, but the job was a good paying job, and I wish I was still there today, pretty much. And while I was training, she noticed that I knew how to count all the cards right in front of me, but then she kind of tell when she got to the end of the desk or the end of the card table. When she got to the end of the card table, it was hard for me to actually count those cards, to where I didn't give her a specific card. Instead of saying king or queen, I would say face card. And she'd be like, okay, what kind of face card? And I would literally have to guess. And that's when she started to notice that my eyesight was very, very bad. The manager pulled me aside and told me if I get glasses that I'm able to come back. So I went to the eye doctor, and they were telling me there's nothing wrong with my eyes at all. And so actually later on, I started having migraines like crazy. So the casino job told me just go on leave until I could get my eyesight back. And I never got it back. But it is kind of a blessing in disguise, because I wouldn't have found what was wrong with me unless they did that. So going on, I seen a couple eye doctors. All of them kept telling me there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. Most likely I have diabetes, because people who have diabetes start to lose their vision. So I went to go see my primary care doctor, and he tested me, and I did not have diabetes. There was nothing wrong. And I kept getting these crazy migraines. Like, I would wake up literally crying because of these migraines. And sometimes my vision would just go. Like, it was already bad to where sometimes I can't even watch TV. And I don't have a little TV, you guys. Like, the smallest TV in our house is a 55-inch. And I could barely watch that. So it started to get very scary. And I told my doctor, I said, I think there's something wrong with my head. I said, I don't know what it is. I'm having these crazy migraines. And sometimes my vision just goes completely blur. Like, I can't see nothing. It's just completely blur. Like, I see colors, but that's it. I said, I really think I need something. Something is wrong with my head. And he kind of like shrugged his shoulders, didn't really listen to me. So I went to the hospital. In the hospital, acted like I was crazy. They asked me if I was on drugs. They asked me, do I drink? And if I had a job, and if I was stable. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm telling you, I need like a CAT scan or something. And they were just like, they don't do it. You have to talk to your primary care doctor. So once again, I went back to my primary care doctor, and I let him know, like, no, something's wrong. I now know my body. Before, it was just my vision starting to go, but I said, something is wrong. Something is really wrong. So he gave me an MRI. He ordered me an MRI just to pretty much shut me up. Even he was just like, okay, we'll just give you an MRI just to cross that off the list. And he was just like, we'll give you a call if something come up with the MRI, but if not, we'll have to figure out something else. So later on, a couple weeks later, I got a phone call, and they set me up with a doctor's appointment. And that's where I started to get scared, because he already let me know if I get a phone call, then that means they found something. And while I was sitting there, I went to my appointment. While I was sitting there, just waiting for the doctor, it seemed like it was taking forever for him to come in. And once he came in, he told me that I had a tumor the size of a golf ball in my head. And then my whole heart dropped. My whole heart dropped. I was scared. Sorry. I was completely scared. Like, I didn't know what to do. I just started crying, and he kept telling me, like, it's okay. as far as we can see, it's not cancer. It's not cancer at all, but we do need to run some more tests on it. We have to give you a contrast MRI. And he was like, it's pretty much going to be the same thing, but this time they're going to inject something into your arm that's going to give it different colors and things like that to let them know if it's a solid tumor, if it's a tumor with liquid in it. There's different kinds. So I went and took the contrast, and he actually set me up with a neurologist in San Francisco. So then all my appointments from there was in San Francisco, and they set me up to get surgery for the removal. And then after they did the contrast, come to find out it wasn't one tumor the size of a golf ball. It was actually two tumors. That was kind of, the one right here was the biggest one. It was still big. And then there was one more up here. And that's the reason why I was losing my vision, because these tumors were growing and they were actually pushing on the veins in the back of my eyes. So the doctor even told me before my surgery that some people get their vision back, some people don't, and some people it takes time. It's not going to be overnight. If it's something that's been squished and clamped down and crushed for a very long time, sometimes it just won't come back, and sometimes it's going to take time to heal. And that's all I just kept thinking about in the back of my mind was, I'm not going to get my vision back. And people, when he says sometimes, and he didn't even say like a high rate or nothing. He didn't give me a percentage, so I just didn't even consider getting my vision back. I honestly was about to turn down surgery until one day, I said earlier how sometimes when I get crazy migraines, it would go completely blur. Like I can't see a thing besides colors. And one time I was laying in the bed with my son, and I was looking at him, and it went completely blur. And I just started crying. I just started crying because I just honestly felt like, I'm getting teary-eyed right now. I honestly felt like, what if I could never see like my son's face again? You know, like, what if he gets older to the point where all I have is the memory of him being a baby, but I don't see him as a man, you know? Like, it hit me. And I was like, I gotta get this surgery. I have to at least do it for my baby. Because even if I can't get my vision back 100%, this will guarantee that it won't get worse. So my surgery was actually June of 2017. I'm still actually recovering from my surgery. And the day of my surgery, I was scared. My boyfriend and my mom came with me. And the whole day, my heart was just beating. And it makes it even scarier when you're signing these paperwork the day of surgery. Everything that I'm signing is literally like signing my life away. A lot of things I was signing was, if something was to happen in there and I don't make it out, who has a say-so? Or say I slip into a coma, who has the say-so of pulling the plug or not? Like, that's paperwork I was signing, and that's scary to sign something like that, especially when you got like your son in your head and your mom in your head and your boyfriend and your family, like everything you just think about at once, and you're just praying like, God, please let me make it out. Like, please let me make it out. I seemed brave, I guess. My mom said I didn't seem like I was fazed by it for a while, until they actually wheeled me away. Once they gave me my kisses and they wheeled me away, and I started to see them slip away. I am a crybaby, you guys. I started bawling the second they reeled me away from my family. Like, I started bawling. And my neurologist, or my surgeon, I don't know. My surgeon, she was just like, calm down, it's okay. It's gonna be so quick, you're not gonna know it. She kept letting me know, like, anesthesia makes it seem like it's 10 minutes, even though it's 3 hours. Later on, I woke up and I was completely doped out. Anesthesia is crazy. I was saying some crazy stuff. I was just so doped out. I wasn't in my right mind. I just kept begging for my family. At first I was just like, where's my mom, where's my boyfriend, where's my mom, where's my boyfriend? Even when they were there, I was still asking for them. Like, I see them, but I was still, it was just still coming out. And then when my surgery went good, my healing is better. I feel like they how they did the surgery was because my 2 tumors were in the front. They did not have to, thank you Jesus, they did not have to cut into my head like they thought they were gonna do. They actually ended up going through my nose, so they broke my nose. That's what took the longest to heal. I ended up having to wear like this little splint, and I had to wear like gauze around my nose because it was constantly bleeding. And they had drilled some holes in my brain, and they made like a pathway for the fluids to actually start going down my throat instead of, I guess there was fluids that kept getting caught in my head, and that's what was causing the tumors to come. So they ended up making a pathway for any of them fluids to not get stuck anymore and actually just go straight down my throat. So literally the first 2 weeks of me being at the hospital was just blood and brain juice coming out of my freaking nose, and it was disgusting. And they also had used some tissue from my stomach. I still have a scar. I have like a cut where they took out some fat tissue to actually stuff inside my nose. That's pretty much it. I'm still recovering. I still take some medication, not harsh medication like I was before, but I'm fine. My vision still has not came back. I'm actually still going through this process as we speak. I just got an updated MRI. I haven't got the results yet. I just took those, so I'm waiting for my doctor to give me a response, because he says sometimes they have to do this procedure again, and I hope I don't have to do it again. I hope it's just a one and done kind of thing. But if I have to do it again, I will update you guys. I will let you guys know about, hey, my second MRI story, and this time now that I'm doing YouTube, that I can bring you guys along with me. But yeah, brain surgery it's nothing fun at all. It's something that's scary. It's something that I thought about every single day till the day that I had it. It's something that I was Googling on YouTube about, researching. Like, I was constantly looking at things for brain surgery and tumor removals. And I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed that it was something, it was something big, but it was something small to me, you know, because it could have been something worse. So I'm always thinking of the bright side, you know. Thank you for watching. That was my brain story time, my brain surgery story time. If you want to hear more story times, like I don't know, the birth of my son or anything like that, I got stories to tell, sweetie. Anyways, thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button.